Do you ever struggle with confidence, Mike?
Confidence is one of those things that you always try to have, and you're confident in yourself and your abilities, but sometimes you'll just get on one of those streaks where maybe you're not shooting the best or you're missing your free throws or something, and you just start to think, well, what's wrong here? And then that's when you have to get
Do
back
you
into
ever
the
get too
gym.
confident to the point where you're like cocky?
I mean, that's a dangerous thing. You always want to try and avoid that if at all possible. You want, because as soon as you start thinking that, you're going to think you're better than everyone else. And when that happens, you start doing more than you should do, and that's when bad things start to happen because you're not able to do what you're trying to do.
I agree. I agree. Do you experience fear or anxiety before or during a competition?
And there's always that little bit of anxiety beforehand. You're just trying to keep yourself calm, get to the next step. During, you don't really feel it nearly as much during because your mind's in the game. You're not thinking about all this other stuff. You're just thinking, all right, what's the next thing I have to do? You're not thinking 20 minutes ahead during the next period or anything.
What about taking a last minute shot? Does that give you any fear or anxiety?
Oh, that's the exciting part. Last minute shot. That's the exciting because I
How
mean,
exciting now?
oh, that's most
What
exciting.
if you miss it?
You don't miss it. That's the confidence factor right there.
All
If you
right.
think you're gonna miss it, you're gonna miss it. You gotta picture that ball going in. You gotta visualize it going in.
So you do a lot of visualization.
For that shot, yeah.
Okay. Do you find yourself thinking negative when you are fatigued during training or competing?
Well, you always get those times where you're starting to get really tired. You're wondering, do I even want to do this? Is this even worth it anymore? You get those negative thoughts start to creep in because you get tired. And then you just gotta push them to the side a little bit, take a little relaxation, and then just get your head clear so you're not making any rash or drastic decisions.
Okay. Do you sometimes feel overwhelmed while playing basketball?
Well, being a student athlete is probably the most overwhelming part. You have your classes, tests, quizzes, then you have the games on top of that, the travel. So you're always going to and from. You're trying to study on the bus when it's getting dark. So that's the most overwhelming part is when you put the two together.
Mm, okay. Are there times where you can't find motivation to play? Or do you always have
Me
motivation?
personally, I always find some form of motivation to play. Just the game in itself. I always think that you owe it to the game to try your best and try your hardest. So that's more so what motivates me. You gotta give it your best. You don't want to just take it easy because then you're disrespecting the game.
Okay.